Hello, hello, hello. Are you seeing us, Char? What about now? Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas. Happy Wednesday. A few days left and we get to celebrate Christmas. I'm trying to make this a little larger so I can see you guys. I know we got a few people on. If you can identify yourself, we got to scoot the couch over here. Yeah, you seem so far away. She relaxed. So how you guys doing today? Who we got on board today? You can reach out and let us know who you are.
Did you go live on your phone? Did you on your phone?
No, I did not. I thought it was going to pop up by itself. I thought it was going to pop up on it by itself. But look like we got a few people on, and hopefully my wife will help me out, and so we can read comments, because I don't know. I got to go live to read comments, Shar?
No, just go to the Elevate page and click on the thing.
Click on what thing?
So go to the top of the page.
Mm-hmm.
You should see yourself live on your phone.
I don't. Nope.
Just one second. I'm trying to send out a text message, let people know you live. What are we doing? Send a text message first or can we work on that first?
Sure, the text messages we fine. So we are what is it? September 20. December. I said September. December 22nd. One day away from my oldest son's birthday. He'll be turning 30 this year. 30 years old. You know what that makes me feel? 30 years old. So I wanted to you see we're in the Christmas spirit here. I wish you can see these poinsettias that we have set up. They're beautiful. Char bought them today. They're beautiful. It's like when you first walk in, they really stand out. So, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. But they're really beautiful. But I just wanted to tell you guys. I hope you guys are ready for the season. I hope you guys are enjoying the season. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the topic we have today. Right now, I can't read the comments. I'm hoping that you guys are commenting because I can go back and see them. Right now, we're on our second episode using this new setup, and I think it'll work when I learn how to use it. So right now, I'm trying to get to the point where I can view your post, and we're going to get started here. 7:04 right now.
Is that live or anything?
Nope.
Are you on the Elevate page?
Yep.
Maybe it's your phone. I have to go there and set it.
But what I definitely want to do is I want to start off with the jokes like we normally do, but I always like to wait till we get the comments. I'm familiar with Teams. I'm not so much familiar with this as much, so I'm looking for a place where I can see the comments. It seems like I should be able to see the comments right here on the screen. So very excited about our topic today. It's called Psycho-Sclerosis, the hardening of your attitude. It's one of the Elevate sessions we do. You know, we talked about Elevate. The A in Elevate stands for attitude. So definitely one of the more popular sessions. And definitely want to start off with the jokes. So we do this as a kind of transition. You know, many of us has worked a hard, long day, and some of us, maybe we didn't work today, but we're in a different mood. We're focused on different things. So we try to transition over and do something that will get us kind of ready for the coming session. And so we got a couple here for you. What kind of tissue can you sleep on? What kind of tissue can you sleep on? Any comments? Any comments? Shar, What kind of tissue can you sleep on? A napkin. A napkin. That's the kind of tissue you can sleep on. She didn't laugh. She didn't. I got a smile though. I got a smile. She said I'm busy. She's busy doing what she do over there. I thought that was like one of my top five. I guess I need to work on that a little bit. All right. What do you call ghost poop? What do you call ghost poop? Char, what do you call ghost poop?
Boo.
Boo boo. You get it? I wish I wish I could see the comments on that one for sure. Let me see. I'm gonna hit live on this phone. Maybe that'll make the comments come up. Let's see here.
I sent you a text message, so click on your text messages.
I can't. Yeah. So, let's see. The last one, and this was given to me by my cousin. The last one.
It's right
How?
there.
Are you seeing us, Char? Hey. So we gotta definitely turn the volume down because I cannot. All right, here we go. All right. Oh, thank you, Miss Ann. We do this. We do this tree. We appreciate it. Which one did you like, Ann? She said that was funny. Which one did you like? Oh, Ann said, "Oh no, it must have been the third one." Sean, what's going on, man? It's good to see you on here. You know, I talked to your brother the other day. It's good to see you on here, Sean Zachary. Talked to you, had a good talk with your brother. You guys got to come on out. We need to have dinner together. It'll be like a reunion. It's been a long time. It's funny because your brother and I were in the same grade, so I always looked at you like you were like in fifth grade. But he told me you were only a couple years younger than him. So definitely need to get together. It's good to see you on here. But the last one is, how do you organize? My cousin gave me this one. I call her my best friend cousin, my BFC. How do you organize a space party? How do you organize a space party? Ann said she liked the first one. The second one, she said, oh no. So, yeah. How do you organize a space party? Shar? How do you organize a space party? You plan it. Plan it. You plan it. She don't like none of the jokes today. Man, I feel like I bombed. So we don't know about next week. We got to come up with some big ones. Most of the time, we have a good week. We're going to come up with some more jokes for next week. But hey, my parents are here. Good to see you on. Mother Brenda, it's always good to see you on. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. My cousin Tamika, of course you liked it, Tamika. She's the one that told me about the jokes. So she's like cracking up. So anyway, definitely want to thank Tamika for helping me with the jokes. She got a couple of them. The other one I got to save for next week. But definitely want to kind of introduce myself. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Curtis Carr. I'm the founder of E.L.E.V.A.T.E. Me and my wife run this company. E.L.E.V.A.T.E is an acronym. Leadership, expectations, leadership, ethics, vision, attitude, temperaments, and effectiveness. And basically what we do is we're a consulting agency. We develop and train people, both of us in our careers. That's what we did, the majority of our careers. I've been in leadership for 30 years. And let me know if that glare is bothering y'all, if it's just me. There's a glare in my glasses. Does it bother you guys? I talked to one person. They said, "Oh, it's no big deal." But man, it really bothers me. Aunt Stephanie said, "Planet." That was a good one. Thank you. But let me know if that glare is bothering you guys. I'll make a quick adjustment. But basically, we're a consulting agency, and what we do is we work with individuals, companies, personal development or business development. We also we're really going to focus on this year with the group coaching, and I'm very excited about that. Group coaching, Ann said it was fine. I guess it's just me and my, my OCD. I want everything to be right. So, but we're going to focus on, Tamika said it was okay. So we're basically going to focus on the group coaching, and let me tell you about the group coaching. So when you deal with teams and organizations, there's always coaches. When you look at the Michael Jordans, or you look at the gymnasts you see, or anybody that's doing anything major, a lot of times we just look at the individual and just think they just got there, and that is not the case. You know, a lot of the I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, so a lot of the words he uses, the phrases he used, he got from Dean Smith. Dean Smith was his hero, and he looked up to Dean Smith, and Roy Williams, who was an assistant coach on that team. So a lot of his mindset came from that. You know, a lot of people talk about Michael Jordan's baggy shorts. The reason he wore baggy shorts was because he wanted shorts to fit over his North Carolina shorts, the University of North Carolina shorts, where he won a championship. So that was the reason why he wore baggy shorts, and it became a trend. But he was a big follower of Dean Smith, who has passed away, who was a coach at University of North Carolina, and a big friend and mentee to Roy Williams, who I believe just retired from North Carolina. So, you know, but everybody had people in their lives. And so what we're trying to do, and our endeavor this year, is to really establish a coaching, mentee, mentor, relationship community. And the best way we found, and we were a part of something like this, is really, we didn't come up with this, we were a part of this, my wife and I, and basically they did group coaching. So, you know, we would get on once a week, and every week we had an assignment, and we would get on once a week and we would discuss it. And it would be like multiple people on, you know, and we call in at the start time, I think would be like 6 o'clock, and then we would call in, and we already knew what we had to get done. And our coach would be like, all right, Curtis, how are you on this part? Did you get your notes in? Did you write up? You said you would be done all the way to this section. How are you doing? And I'd be like, oh, well, we were doing pretty good. Da, 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 da. And then boom, she's done with me, and then she goes to the next person. But I can either sit on that phone, on that call, and learn about the other people and what they're going through, or if I called in late, it would be in order of the call. But it was awesome feeling to be a part of a community that was all about trying to make something happen. And I think a lot of times, deep down inside, we feel like we got to be the ones that make everything happen. You get a part of a community. Be a part of a community. It's powerful. Be a part of a community. So, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to send some ads out, and we're going to really push this year and make sure that people are aware of what we're trying to do this year. But we're going to, I think it's $3.25 a day. $3.25 a day. And you know, we're going to come up with some catchy slogan, but, you know, who wouldn't want to grow and develop at $3.25 a day, you know? And it's nothing where you sign a contract, you can stop anytime, but we definitely want to see people, and we want to establish this growth community so we can help people get to where they want to be. So that's that, you know, and for the other areas that we touch on, it's 714. I don't want to go through it all, but if you go to the website, you'll see everything. WeMustElevate.com. WeMustElevate.com. All right. So you know how our sessions, we really depend on the comments. Let me know if you guys are alive. Are you guys ready? Is everybody ready for Christmas? Is everybody ready for Christmas? That's the question of the day. I got one gift left, and it's for this beautiful lady over here, and it stresses me out because she's like, I don't need anything. Oh, please. I got it. I have to do right. And I was like, it's pressure. It's pressure. So anyway, is everybody ready? Give me some notes. I'm going to wait about 2 minutes. Let me know if you're ready for the Christmas day. You got your gifts. You got your cards. You got your pictures. I know some people send. I know Tamika ready. Tamika's ready from last Christmas. She already had her stuff together. She's really organized. Let's see. Miss Ann, she's ready. Who else? Aunt Stephanie, I know you ready. Who else is out there? Are you guys ready? Sean, talk to me. Are you ready? Are you ready for the Christmas season or Christmas Day? I still have some stuff to pack up and make it look pretty, but I got one gift I need to get. So really looking forward to the time we spend on Christmas. Going to visit some family. So really, look at all signed, sealed, and delivered. Aunt Linda's on. Hello, Aunt Linda. She says yes, she's ready. She's ready. So, Shar, are you ready?
I'm like on Stephanie, I'm ready to eat.
Sean, Sean says she's ready to eat. She's ready to eat. Me too. Me too. So I'm supposed to bring the pecan pie or something. That's kind of like they give me the easy job, so I just go somewhere and buy it and then bring it. So that's the plan. So today we're going to talk about cyclochlorosis, the hardening of your attitude, and that's what it means. Um, I wanted to really spend a little time on this. I don't want to, we try to spend about 15 and 15. 15 telling you about us and telling you about the program, telling you about what we try to do, and then about 15 minutes going over a subject. Cyclochlorosis is the term they use when we talk about the hardening of the attitude. Just like you would have the hardening of arteries, you could have a hardening of the attitude. So, the first question that comes to mind for me would be, how would you define attitude? And the best definition I have found, and I love to use because it's simple, I like simple stuff. The best definition I have found is an inward feeling expressed by outward behavior. An inward feeling expressed by outward behavior. Stephanie said she ain't had good food since last Christmas. Oh, man. Now, that's rough. I don't even know what to say about that one. You need to get out more. You can come over. Come over. I eat good every day. You come over. You can tell when you see me. You're going to be able to tell I've been eating good. So definitely, cyclosclerosis, the hardening of the attitude, and it means an inward feeling expressed by outward behavior. So you can see the attitude. You can actually see it. And we know it all the time. We like, hey, you got an attitude. Well, because inward feelings expressed by outward behavior. So definitely. So the next question would always come to me would be, well, how would you describe an attitude? And I came across this, and I love this. It says, the attitude, what is it? It is the advanced man of our true selves. Anne says she liked the definition. It says, it's the advanced man of our true selves. Its roots are inward, but its fruit is outward. It is our best friend or our worst enemy. It is more honest and more consistent than our words. That's powerful. It is an outward look based on past experiences. It is a thing which draws people to us or repels them. It is never content until it's expressed. It is the librarian of our past. It is the speaker of our present, and it is the prophet of our future. That's how I would describe the attitude. Attitude is powerful. Attitude is powerful. So for me, just to give a short story, I've shared some of this before, and some of you guys know this in detail. Please don't put details on this text strand, though. But I was, and this is, and me and my wife talk about this too, because I'm a Christian. I don't shy away from that, but I don't want people that are not Christians feeling like we can't help them or do something with their business because they might be Buddhist. But I'm a Christian, and when I got saved, I was young, but I never did get into the word and that kind of stuff until I was older. And then once I got older, I start really, and older means 23, 24. I start really getting into the word. But at that time, I found myself, I had made some bad decisions, and I was walking through the consequences of those bad decisions. So I was in a bad relationship, my fault, and nobody's else but my fault. And I was trying to figure things out. And I went to this conference with my father. And the conference was, there was this group called Promise Keepers. And Promise Keepers was this ministry that was focused on men. So we went to back then it was the Astrodome. That kind of tells you how old I am because there's no more Astrodome. But it was the Astrodome, and basically they filled it up. They filled it up with a conference, and the speaker came, and his name was John Maxwell. And he had a book called, a book about the attitude. And it really changed me. And I can no longer hear you. Can everybody hear me? Anybody else? Aunt Linda says she can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me? I'm going to wait a minute or two. Please let me know if you can hear me. You can hear me? So basically, my attitude, because of I let the situation dictate my attitude. And of course, that's not the way you want to go. And when I wasn't much of a reader back then. But that book I picked up, and that book changed my life. Anne's familiar with the Promise Keepers. Tamika says she can hear me. I appreciate it. So when I went to this Promise Keeper conference with my father, I don't even think my father realized the impact of it, because I'm not a person that says a whole bunch. The most I talk is right here on these on these Facebook lives. But it really impacted me. I bought the book, and I got about, I don't know, 20, 30 books from this guy. Really, really impactful. But it talked about the attitude. So it changed my life. It jump started me. It got me back on the right track. I started looking at the challenges a different way. So the second thing that really comes to me, or the third thing I should say, because we talked about how you would define attitude, and we said the inward feelings expressed by outward behavior, and then we read the excerpt here about what is the attitude, how you would describe it. Then we're going to talk about how it should be. Now, later on, I don't know if it's going to be the next one or maybe down the road, we're going to talk about how to cure Psycho-Sclerosis. That's going to be another day. But right now, I want to just talk about how the attitude should be, okay? And I'm going to say it like this. It should be controlled. You should have a conquering attitude. Your attitude should be used to, looking forward to, overcoming challenges, and it should be committed. And to go back under control, I just wanted to highlight when I mean by control, I mean, when you have to, all those inward feelings expressed by outward behavior, we can't show all those because it affects how we deal in our relationships. It affects how effective we are in our relationships. So I always say the attitude should be controlled. That's hard for me because I got one of those faces that when I'm upset or I'm angry, it shows. So I have to be very cognizant of my facial expressions and those 9,000 muscles they say that are in the face. I have to be cognizant. But your attitude should be one that's controlled. And I think about Dr. Kent, and when I do these Facebook lives, I always think about, man, I really want, to connect, and I really want to make an impact. So when I think about what Dr. Kent said, and we had I feel like we had some, let me see if I can find what Dr. Kent said. But Dr. Kent, I don't know if you guys remember, but he was the one that said, people can be rough with you, people can be rude, but be nice anyway. You can come up with a big idea and it can change the world, and people will tear you down the next day. But he says, still come up with a big idea anyway. But it was a long list of things you do anyway. And that's what we mean by it should be controlled. You should have an attitude where you're like, hey, I'm not going to be letting other people outside of me determine the way I think, the way I act, the way I live my life. You got to have your own set of a set of plans and an idea and a philosophy that you go by, and it should be one that really impacts other people just naturally. So the other one is, I love this one. Your attitude should be conquering. It should be conquering. And before I get going, can you guys hear me? My wife says she can hear me. Put some ones up, because my wife always gets on me about this. She says, I never say, hey, can you please share and please like? Because this is how this stuff works. If you like that, please share, please like, please give a thumbs up. Tell me you're out there. I think I'm going to move this thing closer to Shar because she ain't moving. She's on that couch. Let's see. No, she don't have the blanket up. Last week she had the blanket up. But she's on the couch with her laptop doing what she do. Ann said amen, amen. Alex said one. Sean said one. So the attitude should be conquering. And we talked about Nelson Mandela in one of the past Facebook Lives. We talked about Walt Disney, about how they had their plan. And even though they had some successes and some failures, they kept fighting through their plan. And because they kept fighting, they made major breakthroughs. We can talk about the successes of Walt Disney all day long. Many of us already know the successes of Nelson Mandela. We talked about how he got those kids ready because he knew he was about to get arrested, and he sent those kids to Europe to get educated because he says, hey, one day we're going to take over a nation, and we need people that are educated to run this nation. And he sent those people out, and they came back. And when he finally got out of prison, I think it was 27 years, and then finally got elected years later, he was able to have some of those kids that were 17, 18 years old that he sent to Europe come back and run South Africa. So the attitude also should be one that is used to looking forward to challenges, overcoming challenges. Your attitude has to be one like that. I see many people that have opportunities to really change their life, to really change the lifestyle. Basically, what they say they want, but because of the challenges that they see, they don't step into it. They don't. That's why I like in the arena, because they said, hey, I don't know. Well, you're gonna have challenges anyway. You know, if you're struggling, there's challenges that go with struggling. At least you can kind of control the narrative, and you can start living some dreams. And that's why we're really going to push the group coaching, because we're going to have those conversations in more detail. But you should be one that is, that doesn't complain or doesn't shy away from challenges, that you expect them and you start planning, because you know that, hey, if I'm going to win, I need to be 7, 8 steps ahead, and those challenges are going to come. And I think of sports. When you see two championship teams, they do the interviews at the beginning. They don't sit there and say, I don't know, this is going to be hard. I don't know if I want this. I don't know, this is going to be rough. They're like, man, we want the championship. I know there's dangers involved. I might hurt myself, but I'm going to give everything I got to overcome these challenges because we want to win. And it's just a different mentality. And we're in the ultimate game, and it's called life. And we have to be that same way. So, talk to me. We got some ones on there. Our dad shook his hand. Really? Walt Disney? Ann said her dad shook Walt Disney's hand. So I wish you guys go back and read the story of Walt Disney. It's empowering. I love it. I love that story. And then the last thing is that your attitude should be committed, very committed. And I there's a lot of different people you can use as an example and how your attitude should be and how it should be committed. But I would choose to use the story of Tybo and Becky. And I'm trying to use stories that we talked about, those that have been on these calls. Tybo and Becky was the guy that was 17 years old. They got sent to Europe to get educated in the finest schools so he could come back to South Africa and eventually become president. There was a 35-year span between him leaving to get educated and then becoming the future president of South Africa. If that ain't somebody that's committed, I don't know what is. I mean, it's a powerful story. And it's a story that's not often told. We hear about, other things, and I don't want to get into any, we hear about a lot of other things. But man, when I read that, I was like, man, I'm going to shout this from the rooftop. I'm going to shout it from the rooftop because, for one, for Nelson Mandela to plan like he did. Two, to have people around him that are that committed. That says a lot about him, and it says a lot about the people that were with him. So 729 right now, basically we talked about how it's defined. The attitude is an inward feeling expressed by outward behavior. We read the excerpt about what the attitude is. That's the best way to describe it. And then we talked about the attitude should be controlled. It should be a conquering one. It should be one that looks forward to challenges. And it also should be one that's committed. We got any questions out there? We got any questions out there?
How do you avoid psycho-sclerosis?
So my wife said, how do you avoid it? For one, that's going to be on a different episode. So my wife loves to ask these deep questions, and we got 30 seconds. So we said we're going to talk about it later, about how to cure. We got a section called how to cure psycho-sclerosis. And in the E.L.E.V.A.T.E session, we also talk about the building of the attitude. The different ages, there's different influences, chief influences on your attitude. We go into detail. We have also in the E.L.E.V.A.T.E session, we have a sheet where we measure your attitude. So there's a lot more to it. And when you got 15 minutes, you're not going to be able to get it all. But I guarantee you, this is one of the reasons why we have the group coaching that's coming. And we're going to see ads coming out for the group coaching. And because I really believe that we can create a community and we can make an impact. I'll be honest with you. We got one coming up, and it's called Our Generation. And that's because because I hear a lot of people talk negatively about this generation, this young generation, and it just bothers me. Because when you know the definition of leadership, and the definition of leadership is those that shape mindsets and also give hope. It goes against everything I believe in to keep dogging the generation. We're the generation that's supposed to, as leaders, we're supposed to shape those mentalities, shape those perspectives, and to give hope. So when we talk about our generation, it's not going to be a session dogging this generation. It's going to be a session talking about what we can do to help make things happen, what we can do to better connect instead of criticize. So even at my job, I got two older men there. One's my age and one's 58. And they're like, well, if you want some good people, you're going to have to hire some old people because these kids, boy, I tell you. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. Our job is to train, develop. Our job is to shape those perspectives. And I just hate to see a whole generation dogged, especially when every generation dogged the other generation. What is it? Kennedy said, do not, what's that phrase he said? Do not, don't do, how do you say it? Do you remember? You guys know what I'm talking about. It's one of the most famous phrases ever. He says, don't talk about what you can do for yourself, but see what you can do for your country or something. Because the generation was being dogged. The generation was being criticized for being selfish. So every generation is criticized. So what we got to do is we got to stand tall and be better than that. But anyway, 7:32, 7:31 on some calls. I know that we say we'll never go over. We went over. Please be intentional, focus on growth, and elevate now. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.